Hi everyone, let's talk about Trois, which is one of my absolute favourite games. I love this, I've had this for years now, and while it's certainly not been played as much as I'd like, there's absolutely nothing that I've got that is quite like this. The idea that you are in control of you are running these families that are influencing these people, and so you kind of get the use of them, but nothing's really yours in this game. So you can never make plans that are that concrete because the things you are hoping for might not be there. Either people will be using their own dice for their own actions that you were hoping to buy in the future, or a dice that you were just praying that nobody would use. It's just gone. It was a 6. You couldn't expect it to stick around for too long, but you do get rewarded. It does balance out. If you get more dice in the buildings at the start of a round, you will get less money depending on which building it is that you are taking over. And if you've got more money from having less dice, it gives you more opportunity to buy the dice. And knowing the layout of the activity cards as they come out, seeing the patterns of, oh, this is going to let me buy a load of red dice, this is going to let me boost my other groups of dice, this is going to let me do event cards in this way, this is going to let me earn money in this way. They all have their vague vague categories of the yellow ones most likely help you get money in some way, the red ones will help you with military matters in some way, and then the level 1 cards usually help you combat the event cards, and the white ones usually let you manipulate your dice in some way or give you easier way of buying other dice, so you can kind of get an idea for what's coming. And yeah, your secret characters, I really like that everyone is scoring it, so you're not only given a goal to follow throughout the game, you want to be a little bit subtle about it as well, that you don't tip everyone off that, why is it round 1 and you've got 20 influence right now, when that's obviously not necessary. And then everyone will realise what you're doing and go for it as well. It's not a lot of your points really, but it's a nice thing to give you an indication to work towards, and yeah, a little bonus at the end. I will accept, though, that a lot of people don't like this game, and one of them is Rachel, my girlfriend, who I play pretty much everything with, hates this game. And yeah, it's one of the few games that we've got left that we really disagree on. Just not that I would bring it out and force her to play it, but that, yeah, I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. And yeah, when those opportunities arise that I'll play it with other people, I will play it. But it can definitely be a mean game, kind of. Not really, because the stuff isn't really yours. It depends how you think of it. Like I'm pretty much okay with that. That yeah, your stuff is very fluid, and you can't really make plans for all of your dice at the start of a round because you can't really be sure what's going to be there from turn to turn. But yeah, if you are a player that would kind of just like to plan the round out ahead, I've got these dice, I've earned them by being in these buildings, I want to get the use of them, then that can be a problem. That yeah, things can get taken from underneath you. The expansion, the Ladies of Trois, does add a purple dice that everyone has that nobody can buy from you, so you can get a little bit of certainty with that. But yeah, you have to be prepared for your workers to be attracted by the money of another player and desert you. The artwork seems to be a bit divisive. It certainly fits. I don't think anyone can deny that. Yeah, it's very thematic to Middle Ages France, and it fits in that way. But yeah, a lot of people tend to not like it, and rather than just I don't really want to out Rachel as really not liking this game, but she doesn't, and it illustrates. It helps me think of things that are negative about it. Whereas I really like the artwork, I think it really fits nicely. But yeah, it seems a bit of an off-putting thing, and not in the same sense, but the way that they've gone for language independence. I'm not sure if it's an issue now because it's. With the card names, because there's a multilingual version. This is the original version where the cards were like this Resistance one, where it will have the name in one language there and then other languages in small. And so that's a little bit of a way they got around language independence. But the main thing they did was go for symbols just everywhere. And so yeah, unless you kind of remember the symbols well enough to get an idea of what they mean, or you have yeah, I've got kind of a list I printed off Board Game Geek of just the name of the card and then what it does, so you don't have to kind of reference the symbols and things. It does come with sheets like that. It's just nice to have them all in one place when you've got the expansion and stuff. But yeah, if you are looking at just some of these strange things, and especially when there are cards that refer to your sector in the thing, and it's, you know, certain amount of points based on the number of red dice you've still got in your sector and stuff, some of the things can end up incorporating loads of different symbols. And yeah, when you are just faced with all of these hieroglyphs everywhere, I can totally see why it is just weird and off-putting that, yeah, there's no text to be found. You just need to remember what all of this stuff means. Certainly a downside of it. And a final thing, again, I'm fine with these things. The main action system of activating these cards or doing events and things, and, you know, there are rules about making your group of dice, and the pricing of dice can be a bit strange for people because you've got to work out what the size of your group is going to be first, and then that's how much each dice is going to cost you. That's a little bit of a hurdle, and then totaling your group up and dividing it by a number which gives you a number of activations. Yeah, it can be a bit mathy, which, yeah, is another thing that has certainly put people off that I've played this with or talked about this game with. For me, I really like all of those things. I don't mind at all. Yeah, the symbols, I can totally see that, and yeah, a little bit of text sometimes would have gone a long way. But with the player aid and stuff, it's not much of an issue. Everything else, I love that you're making these groups of dice and dividing it by a number, and that's how many activations you get. But if I get this, I could get an extra activation. I love all of that stuff, but I can certainly, yeah, I would not really blame anyone for having a lot of those issues. I can see where they're coming from, but for me, I absolutely love all of that. And as I said, I don't think there's anything that I've got that is quite like this for, yeah, your semi-ownership of your dice, the interesting way you can manipulate them, and the whole puzzle of whether you buy other people's dice, and if you want to buy other people's dice in something that's going to get you a huge group, you maybe just want to hoover up all the sixes or something and do a load of events in one great big go. You're going to end up giving players a lot of money, and yeah, being in all of these buildings is great, but it's going to cut into your income, and yeah, you might end up with all of the dice, but everyone's got money and they're just going to buy your dice away from you. It's really, really lovely, and yeah, as I've said a few times now, I haven't got anything else like it, and it's why it's one of my favorites, and definitely why it's stuck around. But I did a whole playthrough, so you can ignore what I said if you are only going by that, but you're not, are you? Because you've seen the playthrough, you're watching this afterwards. I did a whole 2-player playthrough that will be linked in the description, and you can see the game for yourself and how it pans out there, and hopefully you'll get an idea of whether it will be one for you from that. But yeah, that is Trois. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.